pay your rates and taxes, your car license, your fitness tests. All those things are still money going into the government hands. Why then do we have roads that have craters in them, as was on Kaichor News yesterday, I believe? The crater, when you go into Craig, Monrepo, Industry, Turkine, Buxton, Annandale, areas in Berbice, you have to drive. Every one of us have to drive in one of these craters. Where is our taxpayers' money going, Mr. President? We have to have a nation that with better governance. We need to change the Constitution, remove the executive powers of the presidency, make the Cabinet, the Prime Minister, the President accountable to Parliament. Our Constitution must be our Bible. It is not who can determine land or whether Chinese get citizenship. It is about serving our people. And that's a nation we want to happen, to create in our country. This is a new decade. We must work together. There are many great people around Guyana and in the diaspora. I refer to them as the non-resident Guyanese. We've got to come together to make this nation a better place. We have seen the governance issue that we have dealt with. We see the current leaders talking about the 28 years of the PNC, but instead they should be talking about the 18 years of failed policies. New buildings doesn't make our better. Craters in a road doesn't make the cars we drive better. We are paying 3 times duty on a car coming into our nation. We should be bringing in efficiency model cars, duty-free, reduce the taxes. Businesses, for example, gets 45% tax rate. You would not want to come to Guyana and invest in our country as a private investor at 45% profit tax rate. That's why you only see countries like China and Russia that comes in, gets all the concessions coming into our nation. Big American companies and Canadian companies coming into our nation. Why? We've got a system that is not fair. We've got to change that, we the people. You know, when the president says he's going to pass out 90,000 computers, it's not a gift to the nation. Where is that money coming from for the 90,000 computers? It's our money, our money. That's 16% VAT that you go on Regent Street and pay every day in buying your goods and services. You know, even pay, for my program here that I pay the channel, I have to pay 16% VAT to have this tonight. When I pay my accounting fees, I've got to pay 16% VAT. The government collected 60% more than they even estimated. Why in 2011 did not tell the population, we over-collected, we're going to give you back a percent of that money? We believe in our plan for the nation for this decade, for 2011, VAT must be reduced to 10% from 16%. In 2012, it must go down to 6 to 8%. How will we get our revenues back? The more money I have in my pocket, I will spend it. And the more money I spend, more taxes will be paid. The more I have, I will invest it. Economists says if you have every dollar you have in your pocket and you spend it, will turn the economy over 10 times. So we've got to have a system that allows for local investors to do better. We've got to take care of our local investors. You know, I went to clear some customs items this week, and between 12 and 1, I believe it was, the whole customs department was closed. Mr. GRA, you cannot do that. It makes businesses lose money going and wait in line. Customs officers have a rotating shift. Put your customer, you're losing revenues, but the businesses that are losing money, those are things that we've got to do to fix our nation better. I will open the phone lines. You can put your calls in as we discuss the future of our country. Where were you in 1992 to 2011? Has your life gotten better? Are you driving a better vehicle? You know, you are still water in your yard with all the rains we've been having. You're still paying for that gasoline in your high taxi rates or your minibus rates. While on that side, you see the beautiful vehicles they are driving. Guess who's paying for that gas of that vehicle? You are. We are paying for the gas of that big vehicle. People say, Peter Ramsaroop, well, you drive a nice vehicle. Absolutely. I've earned my money the hard way. I spend my money. Who has earned the money to drive those vehicles with our money and gas? Why is their entertainment bill so big? You know, a minister the other day saw me at the Pegasus Hotel, put their hand around me and bought me a drink. And he says, Peter, and he was telling his friends, he said, I have no problems with you. You're opposition. But look at me, I can buy you a drink. And I said, Mr. Minister, you didn't buy me a drink. I bought myself a drink. He said, how come? I said, you don't make any money unless I pay my taxes. It's my taxpayers' money paying you. So if you're taking my taxpayers' money and buying me a drink, that means I just bought myself a drink. And he looked at me, he kind of bent his head and walked away. I'll take the first phone call as it come in. Take a break here. It's Peter Ramsaroop, you're on the air. Good night. Hello?
Good night.
Good night. Can I help you?
Yes, I don't know if you could if you try, but I was showing some pictures on my television and I saw some potholes with water.
Yes, potholes. A lot of potholes, yes.
Where?
Those are all over, you go into industry. I went into Buxton today to pass out some Christmas toys that I did not get a chance to do over Christmas, and the potholes were significant. There are many, many potholes in our nation, and if our taxpayers' money were being used to fix these roads, then I would say, I don't mind paying my 16% VAT. But where is the money going? Why is our drain still loaded with materials inside? Why don't we invest money back into our country? I'll take the next phone call here. As Peter Ramsaroop, you're on the air. Can I help you?
Hi. Good night, sir.
Good night.
Seems to me you're having a nice program going on there.
Thank you.
What I want to talk about is the police in our state or country, which is I think the government say, or the Minister of Home Affairs who said he's trying to make the police force better. But from what I've seen, the police force is just getting worse by the day. And it becomes a sovereignty of the police state because people cannot speak. I see police roughed up people because they speak about things that are not right.
Well, I get your point, and I'll take you off the air for a second. We've got to invest in better police forces. I looked at the exam, the GDF soldiers that took their entrance tests, and 17%, I think, passed. The illiteracy in our nation is significant. We're promoting students in our primary school system without them learning to read and write. People are looking to join the police because they know that it's a system sometimes to make money. There's some good police forces, but those that have thrown Mark Benchkoff and Freddie Kissoon in jail for nothing. You've seen, our top comedian in our country spend a day in jail on Christmas Day for no reason at all. We can't have a police system that doesn't serve the people. It goes back to a governance issue. The Constitution must rule. That must be changed. Governance got to be better. And start with the top down. Accountability and transparency will have a better country. In our plan for 2011, this new decade, calls for building, for example, we talk about the road to Brazil, doing the Deepwater Harbor, building that Deepwater Harbor so that we can attract new investments. The road to Brazil, the Deepwater Harbor at the mouth of the Essequibo will bring in larger ships, and building a Deepwater Harbor, you're talking 30, 40 million for, maybe a harbor system. You're maybe $100 million US for a major Deepwater Harbor in the Essequibo coast. But that brings new jobs. Imagine you sending your children to university to study engineering, knowing that they will get a job now at that Deepwater Harbor. We're going to have bigger ships coming into our country. We can even get into the cruise industry. Those are some of our plans. We have talked about converting our sugarcane into ethanol for more energy. Those are some of our solutions in order to get more jobs, better paying jobs for our nation. Our economic vision is to see Guyana produce goods and services that are valuable at home and in the global markets. The new industries, as the slide just showed, better industries for our nation. Better jobs, not to cut sugarcane with a cutlass anymore. The fact that we turn that sugarcane into ethanol, those are in grade that sugarcane down now, and those will be higher more skilled jobs for